Blessed day everyone! Welcome to my channel Math with Mrs. O. I'm Ofelia Orate, a principal owner of a school and a tutorial center, a math teacher and an author of 21 books. We've been conducting college entrance exam review for UPCAT ACET at Core Concepts Tutorial Center. I hope this will help you. Before we start, please smash the subscribe button and hit the bell button. Go! Number 1. A man travels 32 miles west and then 24 miles south. How far is he from his starting point? So in this case, you always have to remember the following: north, south, we. There, north, south, west, east. So, and then follow this, 32 miles west. Let's say you start here, you go west 32 miles, so west is to the left, that is 32, and then 24 miles south. South is going down, so you go down 24. How far is he from his starting point? This is the starting point. This is the ending point. So this is unknown. We let that be x. So as you can see here, a 90-degree angle is formed. So you have now a right triangle. So whenever you have a right triangle, how do you solve one of the sides? By using the Pythagorean theorem, which states that here, if this is x squared is equal to 32 squared plus 24 squared. So this is x squared equals 32 squared. So what is 32 times 32? 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Add 4. 12 carry 1, 10. So this is 1024 plus 24 squared, 24 times 24, 4 times 4, 16, carry 1, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, 4 times 2 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4, add 6, 17, carry 1, 576, then add this 2, we have 6 plus 4, 10, carry 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, carry 1, 6, 1, 1600. But this is x squared, so you take the square root of both sides. X is plus or minus 40. How did I get 40? Square root of 16 is 4. There are 2 zeros here, so 1 0. But you cannot take negative 40 because x is a length of a side. So it has to be positive. So final answer is positive 40. The correct answer now is letter A. Now, let me just teach you shortcuts here, and let's apply them to practice. If you're taking the square root of a large number, just like this, let's say you're taking the square root of 25 there, or 25 million, all you have to do is to take the square root of 25, that is 5, and then count the number of zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Divide the number of zeros by 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, you will have 3 zeros here. Did you get that? Repeat. Square root of 25 is 5, then, or for every 2 zeros, you get 1 zero out. So 1, 2, 3 zeros out. Practice number 1. Let's say we have the square root of 4,900. What's the answer? Square root of 49 is 7, then 2 zeros is 1 zero out. The answer is 70. Next, problem number 2. Let's say we have here square root of 360,000. So, square root of 36, square root of 36 is 6. There are 4 zeros, so 2 zeros out. The answer is 600. Another example, let's say you have here 81. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have here, there, 8,100,000,000. Take the square root of 81, that is 9. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. You should have 4 zeros. There. So the correct answer is 90,000. I hope you got the shortcut. Let's move on to problem number 2. If a watch is set at 5 p.m. and loses 1.5 minutes every 2 hours, what will it read when it is actually 5 p.m. the following day? Now, you have 5 p.m. to 5 p.m. so that is going to be how many hours? 24 hours. But the watch loses 1.5 minutes every 2 hours. So 24 hours divided by 2, that will be 12 hours. Right? Or not necessarily 12 hours, but 12. 12 times. And then that's 1.5 minutes every 2 hours. So let's multiply this by 1.5. 2 times 5, 10, carry 1. 5 times 1, 5 plus 1, 6. 2 times 1, 2. 1 times 1, 1. So this is 0.81. But you have a decimal here, so 1.1 point. So it loses 18 minutes. So therefore, if when it is actually 5 p.m. the following day, so but 1 hour is 60 minutes, right? So you simply make this 4 and 60, and then it loses 18 minutes, so you subtract the 18. So you're going to have here 0 minus 8 cannot be, borrow 1. This is 5, 10 minus 8 is 2, 5 minus 1 is 4. So it is 4:42 p.m. there. The correct answer is letter D. Problem number 3. How many tiles 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters are needed to completely cover a floor that is 16 centimeters by 15 centimeters? How many tiles? Okay, so all you have to do is to divide the area of the floor over the area of the tile. Each tile. So the area of the floor is there, floor 16 by 15. So 16 times 15. They are all in centimeters, so there is no conversion needed. Over the tile, each tile is 4 by 4. Oh, this is easy. This is 16. 4 times 4 is 16. Cancels. So you get 1, 1. So the correct answer is 15. There. So we have letter C. Problem number 4. A man can do a job in 180 minutes. And another man can do the same job in 60 minutes. If they work together, how many minutes will it take them to complete the job? Okay, so one man can do it in 80 minutes, meaning his rate is 1 over 180. Another man can do it in 60 minutes, so his rate is 1 over 60. If they work together, we let X be the time it will take them to work together, so the rate of both is 1 over X. This is now the rate of both. There, X. X is the time of both. 1 over X is now the rate of both. Okay, so if you have problems like this, it is easier if you remove the denominators. How? By multiplying the LCD to both sides or to all of the terms. So we have here 180x divided by 180 or times 1 over 180. So you cancel this, you're left with x plus. Now you multiply 180x times 1 over 60. 180 divided by 60 is 3x times 1 equals 180x times 1 over x, or 180x divided by x. X cancels, you're left with 180. Then add this, you get 4x equals 180. Divide both sides by 4. So we have here x, you cancel that. 180 divided by 4, what's that? That is 4 times 4 is 16. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 45 minutes. There, 45 minutes. So our answer is letter B, 45 minutes. Problem number 5. 25 is 5/9 of what number? So here we have 25. You just rewrite it as an equation, algebraic equation. So 25, copy 25 is equals 5 over 9. So 5 over 9 of is multiplication times what number? We let it be x. The what number is x. There. So repeat, 25 is 5 over 9 of times what number? X. So in this case, you have to multiply both sides by 9 over 5. Both. There. So you have here 9 cancels with 9, 5 cancels with 5, you're left with x. Very good. And then this is understood to be over 1. So 25 by 5 is 5 here, 1 here. 5 by 5 is 1. 9 times 5 is 45. So x is equal to 45. The answer is letter B. Problem number 6. 80 is 20% of what number? So the same thing is true. Rewrite this as an equation. So 80, copy 80, is equals 20%, 20 per 100 of times what number? X. Our number here is x. Okay, we have to recall that 20% is just 20 per 100. As you've learned, when you say percent, it means for every. Cent is 100. Like per day is every day, for every day. Per month is for every month. Per year is for every year. Percent is for every 100. Cent, give me words with root word cent. Like century. Century is 100 years. Centipede is 100 feet. There. So that you will always remember that percent is for every 100. So if you have 20%, that is 20 per 100. Okay, let's have practice. What is, let's say, 5%? 5 for every 100. Or 5, move the decimal point 2 places to the left, 0.05. In case the problem is different, they are asking you, for example, to rewrite 5% as a decimal. What about, let's say, 23%? 23% is 23 per 100. That is 23, then move the decimal point 2 places to the left. That is 0.23 or 0.23 23. This is 0.05 or 0.05. I'm just stressing the point here that before the decimal point, if there is no number there before it, it will always be 0. Because in, college entrance exams, sometimes there are questions which will give you in the choices a 0 before the number. In others naman, they don't write, or they don't have 0 before the decimal point. So let's continue here. So let's say we have 3.5%. What is that? Transform that into 3.5%. And then 3.5 per 100. But wait, 3.5 is not acceptable. So, as a fraction, if in one of the choices, the answer is a fraction, so all you have to do is to move this to the right. You also move this to the right. So you will have 35 per 1,000. But wait again. 35 and 100 are both divisible by 5, or if not 100, because it's big, you can make it 35 over 10. Okay? You can play with the numbers. 35 by 5 is 7. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So your final answer is 7 over 200. There, as a fraction. But as a decimal, this will give you 3.5%. So you move the decimal point 2 places to the left. There, 1, 2. So your final answer is 0.035. See, I just want you to recall basic concepts on decimals, fraction, and percent, because these are really important in your UPCAT and ACET, and even in PUPCET or USTET. Okay, let's go back to the problem. Repeat, 80 is equals 20%, 20 per 100 of what number? So in this case again, you have to isolate x, so multiply 100 over 20 to both sides. There, 100 over 20. So now, 100 cancels with 100, 20 cancels with 20, you're left with x equals. This is understood to be over 1, so 80 divided by 20 is just like 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Did you get that? Then, 100 times 4 is 400 over 1 is simply 400. The correct answer is letter C, 400. Problem number 7. If log of 64 base 2 is equal to x, then x is equal to, okay. You have to recall here the definition of logarithm, that the log of x base b equals y is just the exponential b to the y is equal to x. So here, when you have the log of 64 base 2 equals x, this is simply 2 to the x equals 64. Now, make the bases the same. Multiply 2, how many times? So you get 64. 2 times 2, 4, times 2, 8, times 2, 16, times 2, 32, times 2, 64. You multiply 2 6 times, you get 64. Now that the bases are the same, so x is equal to 6. Final answer is 6. Let's have practice here, for you to really recall logarithms. Let us say we have here log of x base 5 equals 3. What is x? Okay, apply this, the definition. So you have 5 raised to the third equals x. So x is 5 cubed. 5 times 5, 25 times 5 is 125. Okay. This time, let's put the x here. So let's say log of 216 base x equals 3. Apply the definition again. X raised to the third equals 216. Then think, what number do you multiply 3 times so you get 216? Isn't it 6? 6 times 6, 30. 6 times 6 is 216. Therefore, x here is equal to 6. Okay, last one, last practice. Let's put the x here. So let's say we have here log of 81 base 3 equals x. So we have here 3 to the x is equal to 81. How many times do you multiply 3 to get 81? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 27, times 3 is 81. So 3 to the 4th equals 81. And this is 3 to the x, therefore x is equal to 4. Did I give you enough? The x is here, the x is here, the x is there, the x is there. Okay, so we're done. Before we end, always remember to add kindness, subtract judgment, multiply understanding equals Mrs. O's good life equation. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the subscribe button and hit the bell button. Thank you.